Hey everyone, Sheila here from Life with Pets. So today I'm going to be showing you how we've set up our new 20-gallon long for our mystery snail tank. This one has gone in next to Belfin's tank, and so I'm going to just go through sort of what we did and what we used. I will leave links in the description box below if you want to take a look at it. This would also be how you would basically set up any aquarium in what we've done with this, but we have specifically set this up for our mystery snails as a breeding tank for the purple and magentas. We do also have the Corys in here, and we have little Sid, the synodontis. He is way in the back over there. I don't know whether you can see him. And then we do also have a new betta fish who will be going in this tank as well. So these plants we have set up that the snails do not bother with them at all. We have used some of the crypt out of our divided tank, and I've just sort of split it up, and I've put some in this side here and then some on the other side right there. We've then used some driftwood, and I do still have to hold that down with the rock that's up at the top there, and that's because this one's still, despite this tank having been set up for almost 2 weeks, this is still floating, and so I am having to still hold it down. Filtration, we have done sponge filters. I've done a big one at the back. Now that one is actually a new one, so it is not cycled at all. And then the one in the other corner, I don't know whether you can see it back there, that one is fully cycled, and so the tank is cycled. I have been watching it just in case we did have any spikes, but we didn't appear to. We have moved some of the snails from the 10-gallon tank into it. We've moved all of the ivory snails, and we have done just a few of the babies. Right now I don't want to overload it, because at the end of the day it still is a new tank setup, and we have to just be very careful that we don't get the spikes with it at all. We don't want any ammonia or nitrite spikes, so I'm just being very, very careful at this point what we put in it and how to watch the bio load. Now with snails you do need a very tight fitting lid. This is the acrylic lids that we just make ourselves, and so that's what we've used on this. And then it does have sort of the feeding holes that I can put the food through, and then the light is the Nicru, which is what we use actually on most of our tanks, and this one is for the 20-gallon long, so it does light up the tank really well, and the plants do seem to be doing okay in here as well. I do have 2 moss balls and also the anacharis, which is this plant right here. And then that's about it for plants. We haven't put sort of too many in at this point, because these do usually grow pretty big, and so we want to give them obviously the opportunity to grow. So the babies in this tank are still ones that are going to be for sale. We are going to grow some out for ourselves and obviously keep them in this tank, and then we're still waiting on the clutches from what I think are the purples and magentas. I'm still obviously waiting on those to hatch. Now the filtration at the moment is turned off on this tank, so obviously normally this would be bubbling away. However, I wanted to turn it off because the pump is right next to the tank and my microphone tends to really pick it up, so I didn't want a buzzing in the background for you guys, so I have actually turned it off. So this tank is doing well. Like I say, no issues with it up to this point, and we will be adding a betta fish to it as well. We do actually have the betta, and that is a whole other video. In fact, I think it probably will be the one that goes out after this video, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, then go ahead and subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell. The substrate in this tank is sand. As many of you know, we love sand. We have it in this tank here, and we do also have it, Belfin's light's not on right now, but we do also have it in Belfin's tank as well. We've just done like a mixture in his tank of the black and the white, but in this one we decided that we would go all white, and whenever I do clean it I do have to make sure that I stir it up thoroughly so that we don't end up with any gas pockets in it. The heater in this tank is just a regular heater. At the moment it's not actually switched on because the temperature in the tank is already at 78 degrees day and night, and we won't need to put it on until winter time. But I did put it in the tank just so that you guys could see it in here. The white, like the big white blocks that you can see sort of around in the aquarium, there's one there and then there's one right next to the moss ball there. That's the cuttlebone that we have in the tank. And that just slowly dissolves over time for these snails and their shells. So it just puts calcium into the water, really in sort of a more controlled way, I guess. So this setup has been a long time coming. I know I have been talking about it for quite a while, but we have finally done it and I am very pleased with the outcome. It does look really good. I will be happier once we can actually get the stones out of here holding this piece of wood down here. But like I say, at the moment the tank's been set up 2 weeks and the wood continues to want to float. Hopefully in the next week or so it will stop and I'll be able to take that out. You can see a little tiny baby right there. It really shows you how tiny they start off. I mean, that is normally they're like little tiny pinheads when they're born, and then this one's about, I think about 2 weeks old, but you can see just how large they get. This one here almost fills the palm of my hand. It's that large. It's the largest one we actually have. Our mystery snails, the ivories and blues, are a little over a year old now, and obviously I don't know the age of these because I've not long had them. Well, I've had them about 2 months now maybe, and I'm not exactly sure how old they were when they came to us, but we've had them for about 2 months and thankfully they have started breeding. Alright guys, so that is the setup on the tank. Like I say, if you have any questions on it, then just leave them in the comments box below. I will leave links in the description box also if you want to take a look at anything. With the plants, don't forget that we do have a coupon to H2O plants, and so if you want to get 10% off an order, I will leave that link in the description box below as well. Alright guys, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.